The Boy Who Fooled the Nazis, the untold story of the youngest spy in World War II. He was only 12 years old, but he tricked Hitler's army, smuggled secrets under their noses, and vanished into history forgotten by the very country he saved. This is the true story of Marcel Pinta, the youngest spy of World War II. A boy so clever, so fearless, that even the SS couldn't imagine a child could be their enemy. Every whisper of rebellion was hunted, tortured, and silenced. Resistance networks were crumbling. He carried messages stuck inside his socks, hidden in his schoolbooks, and sometimes sewn into the lining of his clothes. While German officers stopped adult couriers, frisked men, and interrogated women, they overlooked the smiling, muddy-faced boy pedaling his bicycle past them. And in a quiet village, no one suspected that behind one farmhouse door, a secret war room was operating with a child at the center of it. It begins in Nazi-occupied France, 1943. The Gestapo controlled the streets. Their home had become a meeting point for Free French forces and Allied intelligence agents. Maps, radio parts, explosives, and escape routes were scattered around like furniture. But when Nazi patrols knocked, Marcel played with his toys and pretended not to notice. In reality, he had memorized codes, routes, and faces better than most trained adults. Marcel Pinta wasn't a soldier. He didn't carry a rifle. Each note he carried could save a life or get him killed. He didn't flinch. That was their first mistake. But the boy who delivered hope, one note at a time, was nearly erased. That map helped Allied planes strike a key depot days later. Across Europe, hundreds of children, like Marcel, fought and died forgotten because they didn't fit the image of the soldier. Until 2020 when, for the first time, the French government officially recognized him as a resistance fighter, a boy spy, a war hero. Marcel's father, Pinta, was a senior figure in the French resistance. His job was deadly simple: pass messages between cells, across forests, railroads, and occupied towns. There's a top-secret file, declassified just 5 years ago, that reveals how Hitler planned to turn children into weapons. Once, he crossed 10 kilometers through a storm to deliver a map of German troop positions. He arrived shivering, soaked, and smiling. The resistance fighters, desperate to meet their British contacts, moved fast and armed. Suddenly, a submachine gun discharged accidentally. The bullet tore through Marcel's chest. But bravery wasn't his protection. His age was 2. The Nazis, he was invisible, until August 19, 1944. On the eve of a major Allied drop near A, Marcel was helping transport equipment to a secret landing zone. He died on the trail, still holding the message in his hand. He was 6 days shy of his 12th birthday. No parade, no medal, not even a grave with his name until years later. The world moved on. France was liberated. The resistance became legend. For 76 years, Marcel Pinta was just a footnote in dusty archives. And here's the haunting truth. He wasn't the only one. Until now, they weren't strong enough to lift rifles, but they were brave enough to lift nations. Their stories have been scattered, censored, or ignored. So next time someone tells you war is only for grown men, tell them about Marcel the boy who fooled the Nazis and never lived to tell his own tale. And if you think that was extraordinary, wait until you hear what the Nazis did when they found out children were being trained as spies by the Allies. That's coming next. Don't miss it. History is darker and more inspiring than you were ever told.